hell was I watching? I went to the game. I was in El Segundo yesterday. Went for the Lakers presser with Luka. Went home, showered, kind of got a couple things done. Oh, did the live show, and then I'm like, all right, yeah, there's game tonight. I kind of had wind that Luka was going to be there, but I wasn't 100%. But I had an idea that Luka might be there, so I'm like, okay, it's be interesting. Luka's going to be sitting on the bench there. Okay, awesome. But I never really thought the Lakers actually winning the game, right? Like, I think right now we're watching Lakers basketball, and think about what happened in the last 4 days. They beat the Knicks. 1 hour later, AD and Max Christie are gone. And then before you know it, obviously, Luka's a Los Angeles Laker. And nobody talked about the win against the Knicks. It was like, what are we going to talk about? Lakers just got Luka. What the hell just happened? This is the biggest trade in NBA history. Everybody's trying to figure it out. And then, Sunday, the fallout. Monday, people still obviously talking about it in complete shock. Yesterday was the presser. It's like you forgot. Oh, yeah, Lakers still have basketball games. So they got a game coming up. Obviously they got a game coming up last night, and it's like the game has just become completely secondary. It was just a couple of weeks ago, Lakers got their asses kicked by the Clippers. Okay, now you don't have Anthony Davis. Nobody's expecting the Lakers to win. I'm not. Clearly, the Lakers are running on their own page. They got whatever we think of them, they probably think differently of. The situation that the Lakers are in right now, I am just assuming this year is kind of a wash unless, Rob's really able to do some stuff by Thursday. But even with that, like, really, what are they going to do? Do they have enough defenders? They don't really have a big, there's a lot of question marks and holes around the Lakers. That trade for Anthony Davis was clearly, yes, for the present, but more for the future. So I'm freaking watching the game last night like everybody else. I'm at the arena. And by the time the first quarter is done, I'm like looking around, I'm like, anybody else seeing this? They're like, yes, we're all seeing it. We're also at the game. In my head, I want to look at something here real quick because I know that by the time we got to halftime, I just want to make sure what the score was. By the time the first quarter was done, Lakers are up 16 and they dropped 45 on the Clippers. Okay. By the time you get to halftime, Lakers are up 20 plus, 23, something like that. They dropped 70 plus on the Clippers. They go even with them in the third quarter, and they even outscore them in the fourth quarter. They win by 25 points. I'm like, with all of this that just happened these last few days, the last thing anybody's been talking about is the product on the floor. Nobody's trying to break down the Lakers and the Clippers last night. And there I am in the postgame show. I'm like, guys, they went 5-1 on this Grammy trip. Before they left to the Grammy trip, right, that included the Golden State Warriors, the Washington Wizards, the Philadelphia 76ers, the New York Knicks, the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm missing one team in there. I think it was a bad team. They played Washington. I can't remember off the top of my head. Point that I'm trying to make is we have been so distracted by all the other things that have been going on with the Lakers, rightfully so. I mean, I'm not here telling everybody you shouldn't be, paying attention to Luka and the trade deadline and everything else. They've won 9 of their last 11 games. And a lot of these games, frankly, there's a good stretch of them without Anthony Davis, right? AD's been out. He had that ab issue. So I think it's just kind of important to just take a quick second. It's like, what they've really done over these last couple of weeks has been incredibly impressive. And I'm not here to try to tell you guys that I think the Lakers are going to go on this run. I actually have no idea what they're going to be with Luka. I really genuinely have not. It's going to be one of my next topics, is like looking at the Western Conference and seeing everything else. But can we stop for a quick second, not look at the trades, not look at, chat about who's here, who's not here. Just stop for a quick second. They're playing some really, really good basketball. I mean, their last 2 wins are against solid teams in the league, and both of them on the road. And I don't know if you want to call them statement wins, but what do I do with this? They beat Boston by double digits. They beat the Knicks by double digits. They beat the Clippers by double digits. They won these last 2 games without Anthony Davis. Certainly no Max Christie last night. Luka's on the bench. Luka's coming. The second or third best player in the league is getting ready to sub in. He's coming. Probably most likely they say on Saturday that he's going to be here. Um, I think just take a quick second to recognize that whatever JJ Redick is doing, and however he's trying to motivate them, and however he's trying to figure out what exactly this team is, it's pretty freaking impressive what's been going on. Now, I will tell you this. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Lakers, they shot 48% from the three-point line against the Clippers, 47.5% from the three-point line against the Knicks, 43% from the three-point line against Boston. I don't think it's a coincidence. If you're hitting 42 and change from the three-point line, it's a good chance you're probably going to win those games. So eventually what's going to happen is Rui's going to miss some threes. Gabe's going to miss some threes. Go down the list. Austin Reeves. This is not going to, that stretch is just not going to continue. We know it's not sustainable, but just really impressed, really impressed by the Lakers for a team that was really struggling against teams below 500. All of a sudden now they're 3-0 against teams over 500. Their last three games, obviously. It's just been impressive basketball. So I'm very surprised and impressed what the Lakers have been able to do over this short stretch here. Okay. All right, let me kind of just transition here to my next topic because I think this is where it was going to take me. I am trying to figure out what the hell the Lakers are. And I'm trying to figure out what the Lakers are going to be because probably by Saturday, Luka's going to be on this team. Luka's going to be a Los Angeles Laker, and we're going to be we're going to kind of put ourselves in this uncharted territory that I don't think anybody knows what it is. The question is, can LeBron and Luka play together? I think they'll be fine. I think they'll figure it out. The question of, what is the ceiling of this team? What do you think of the team right now? Talk to me about the roster right now. I think they threw a lot of people off. 5-1 in the Grammy trip, blowing out the Clippers yesterday. Like you mentioned, the Knicks win. Maybe the Wizards win was the one. It was like, okay, they're all moving in the right direction. They're pulling the rope in the same direction. What the hell is this team? They're about to add a top 3 player in the league, but they also got flaws, right? Like, so I don't know what to think of this team.
Yeah, I mean, so the funny thing is they've won, I think 7 of their last 8.
And 9 of 11.
9 of 11, 9 of their last 11. And among the 7 of the 8 I referenced, like they've won 6 of those by double digits. Like, so they're not just like I mean, there's something that I think even JJ referenced at one point, maybe the last Clippers game or like sometime within the past month. Something Jovan and I talk about frequently is that their point differential was awful. Not awful. It was bad for a team with the record of a team with a good record. That's because they would get blown out in losses and only pull out these close wins, and they would make you think like, how good are you if you can only beat teams like very like by 5 points, 7 points. You can't pull out 12 point, 15, 17 point victories because that's indicative of like how good of a team you are typically. Like how well do you play against lesser teams or teams you're supposed to beat, or can you beat good teams like they did, like they have been like the past couple of weeks, the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Clippers. I'm saying all that to say, like, they've won so much in the past couple of weeks, like they've turned their negative point differential. I think they were like -2-ish at one point, -2.3 within the past couple of weeks. Now they're a positive, and that's because they've been dominating. Like they've been controlling games, they've been dictating games, and that's before even getting Luka on the floor. There seems to be a mentality shift within the team, an effort shift, a game plan discipline shift, a detail shift. Like they seem to have, and this has been going on for weeks. I think it's been most evident the past, really since that Celtics game, because that was the biggest win of the season, and then they beat the Knicks, and then they beat the Clippers. It seems like there's been a shift within the team. So I think I would tell people I think this is a good team. I don't know if it's a very good team or even a great team, uh, or let alone a great team. Like I think they're making progress to being a very good team between the effort's just gone a whole different level in terms of hustle, uh, and just giving their all on a more regular basis every single play. The execution has increased. I mean, in
Mm.
terms of defensively, like you can tell, like
Cole,
the way they.
can I just say, am I putting too much stock in? You got guys like DFS. I just love his game. Okay, I like
100%.
him to hit more threes, but I love his game. I love what he does, what he brings to the table. Jared Vanderbilt, I know the guy needs time. Give this guy, you probably needs another 30 days to feel like, hey, I'm fully back and I'm playing. But like, can two players like that, because I've heard JJ Redick talk about this, where they bring such an intensity to the game. They have such a focus on one side of the floor, and then whatever you get from them on the other side, more for Vando is gravy. Even a guy like Gabe Vincent, this is what you were hoping you were going to get from him. Even though they're not stars, they're role players. Can guys like that kind of help change a little bit of the culture of maybe what the Lakers want to be, just simply because you got guys that are just, they don't take any possessions off?
100%, 100%. Like Dorian's addition, the acquisition of Dorian by the Lakers has been huge. I mean, I know obviously like the Luka addition when he's on the floor, that's going to change the team probably in a more impactful, tangibly ways. But them getting Dorian Finney-Smith has been like that's a floor raiser. That's a floor raiser. He raises your floor because he looks around and he's a veteran. He's saying, "I'm doing all this. Everybody else has to step their game up.
Mm.
Everyone else has to step their game up." That's setting a culture defensively, effort wise, game plan discipline wise. Like he is raising the floor of the team, and it seems like everyone has started to do the same. But this started even before. To me, this started even before he came on the team. I think he's helped taking it to a different level. But it's a combination of Gabe Vincent, who's been playing really, really well on both ends of the floor. I mean, defensively, he's been strong all season, but two-way impact has been there for the past 2+ months. Turned the corner his season. I know who he's no longer on the team, but Max Christie was a huge part of that as well.
Sure.
Stepping to the starting lineup, I think they were 16-8 with him as a full-time starter, defensively taking on the top matchup, really blossoming and growing into that 3-and-D role, and starting to even add a little bit more to his game. I mean, Vando's return has been huge. Dorian Finney-Smith addition, and then just every other guy, Jackson's gotten better. Like Jackson's has had developed just within the season, and then
Rui's having some better games as well, I feel like.
Rui, when I talk about game plan discipline, he seems to be up there in terms of not staying locked in on the details of what the coaching staff is asking him to do.
Yep.
And even LeBron, after he took that, whatever it was, like 8-day break, across 2 games or however many games it was, there seems to be a noticeable shift in his energy immediately afterwards. And defensively, the LeBron that has been playing the past couple to few weeks is night and day to the LeBron that we would see at earlier points of the season defensively. He's been making his rotations, better rotations. Like I said, pre-rotating. Like it's just been defense. And when you have LeBron doing that, that changes.
Sure.
Because so often he's in those help positions, and if you have your leader doing that, then everyone else also wants to do it. So it's a collective of just. Again, JJ said this not yesterday, but the last Clippers game that they lost it into it. The standard has to be, higher day by day, game by game, and it definitely feels like as a collective, it has been.
All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show, and then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.